Louis Malloy hurts people for a living. In his business, reputation is everything. When Louis does work on you, you remember it for life. Louis is a tattoo artist whose work is recognized by millions. From his base in Manchester, he was the creator of the most famous tattoo in the world, David Beckham's Guardian Angel. But now Louis is ready for his next big challenge. In a bold new venture, he's handpicked 3 of the best tattoo artists in the business. Together, they're going to create the most talked about tattoo studio in Britain, London Ink. Coming up on London Ink, a tattoo virgin feels the pain.
Ow. Fucking hell.
Louis just can't seem to get the staff.
I want you to draw me a horse's head.
Okay, I've seen enough of that one.
Dan has designs on pin-up girl Emily Scott.
I love it. Right. I'm not sure what my agent's going to say.
But the morning after isn't so pretty.
Ugh.
Manchester has been good to Louis Malloy. It's been home to his business for the past 25 years. It's here that David Beckham first approached the man who was destined to become his own personal tattooist.
David Beckham ever came to my studio, he was a classic nightmare customer because he didn't know what he wanted. You've got to know what you want. I said, you don't know what you want, I can't help you. I said, you know, you got to give me something. So I said, you know, until such time as you do, see ya. I mean, back then he wasn't quite the biggest star that he is now. I mean, I cringe when I think about it. It's just like, get out of here.
But 2 years later, Beckham did come back, and Louis created the image that became a legend.
I was sketching it out on a pad as he was saying it to me, and I conjured up this image in my head of a diver at the Olympics, and it's the pose that they strike just before they dive off the board, and they always put their arms out and they just bow their head. And as I was sketching it, he was going like, yeah, that's it, that's exactly it.
But now Louis is ready for a whole new challenge. For the first time, he'll be managing a team of tattoo artists, each with their own unique creative talent and temperament. He's been working hard on the design for the studio. Everything must be perfect.
If you walked in here, I don't think your immediate impression would be that it was a tattoo studio, which is good. Nice, I like it. Yeah.
Louis' success will be entirely dependent on the artists working for him. Graffiti guru Dan Gold is one of the most talented tattooists in Britain, but he's a loose cannon. Louis knows he comes with a past, and he's prepared to take the risk.
I've gone through a couple of years where I lost everything. I lost my shop, I lost my relationship, I lost everything. You know, my cars, my flats, my motorbikes. And I really want to sort it out because I don't really want to lose what I have now and what I'm building up again. You know, I used to be the boss, and it's not going to be easy for me to just take orders.
You know, Dan's a nice kid. He's got skill, he's got character. He just needs bringing into line. That's all it is. I feel if Dan fails, then I've failed. Danny boy.
Hey, Louis.
Dan is the first of the new team to arrive.
Thank you. So what do you expect of me down here then? What's my role in this shop?
What I want to do, I want to sort of get an idea of the kind of stuff that you like doing.
Yeah.
And then I want to push you in a direction of stuff that you don't like doing.
What? You are aware that I haven't had a boss for the last 8 years.
I'm not.
I might find it a little bit hard to take orders.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not going to be bossing anybody about as such. I mean, I'm pretty easygoing. It's just that we're just going to run a tight ship.
Nicole Lowe started tattooing in New Zealand 16 years ago.
My style that I mostly do is Japanese. I also do a bit of Tibetan and Indian.
Nicole's unique take on traditional designs has won her loyal clients throughout the world.
I like them to have an idea and then just let me loose if I can do whatever I want. I like doing big pieces, bigger pieces.
Nicole's next to meet Louis.
Oh, it's lovely to see you. Oh, you're nice and cool. So, what we're gonna be doing is, I know what all your guys' specialist fields are. And what I'm gonna try and do is try and take you outside of those fields, and make you do things that you wouldn't ordinarily like doing.
I don't do those sorts of things because I'm not good at those sorts of things.
we're gonna
And the
teach you.
person should get their best tattoo they should. So
That's true.
you should be doing the things that you're good at, and I should be doing things I'm
That's
good
true,
at.
but what I'm trying to do is to try and make people versatile.
The thing is, though, if somebody came to me and asked me for graffiti, then I wouldn't do it. I would send them to somebody that I know does it.
Yeah.
Because what I want is for the customer to get the best job they can get, and I can't do that.
I'm a one-legged man in an arse-kicking competition here, aren't I?
Phil Kyle perfected his art on the US punk scene, and it's the first time he'll be working under someone as experienced as Louis.
When you open a shop when you're 18 years old, back when he did, it wasn't a very common thing. Yeah, I think that everyone can learn something from him, whether it be tattooing or outside of tattooing, because he knows this business inside and out. So he's a businessman. He even dresses like one.
Now all the artists have arrived, Louis calls the first team meeting.
All right, listen, seriously, we've got to have an objective and an agenda here. We've got to make an impact.
He does know how to talk, doesn't he, old Louis?
There are some damn good studios, some damn good artists. We've got to make an impact to get ourselves known. And the way we're going to do it is we've got to do quality work. We need to build a name for ourselves. Once we've done that, then we can diversify into our specialist fields. If somebody asks me to do a cup, I will do a cup, but I'll do it different. 3 handles on it, different shape, different colour, but I won't just do a cup.
He can go off on one, can't he? Just like chat, and just like chat away.
And bear in mind, you've got to pay your mortgage the next day.
Yeah, but I mean,
Realistically-
if things go on how they...
It's not going to be easy, I know that, but that's part of the challenge for me. All people who are creative can be a bit volatile, a bit moody. I mean, they can flare up like a bloody hemorrhoid. The worst that could happen is that I can't make them gel, I can't make them understand the direction that I'm trying to push them in. It could all go tits up.
Coming up, Dan's first client stresses him out.
One of the worst things that can happen when you're a tattooist is when you prepare something and then people kind of just change it.
And Louis creates a new version of the Beckham Guardian Angel.
Let's do it.
The London Ink Tattoo Studio is ready to welcome its first clients. The artists prepare to make their mark. Louis has been looking forward to his first client, who's commissioned a new incarnation of David Beckham's Guardian Angel.
Gene.
You right?
Yeah, you look well. You look fantastic. You look like a fucking star. All right, what we're going to do, you just take a seat for 5 minutes. I've got everything ready. I'm just going to prep the area. Yeah. And then we'll come down, get your back ready, put the stencil on, have a look if you're happy. Away we go.
Perfect.
All right?
Yeah, definitely.
2 ticks then. The big problems with doing an image like this on somebody is that by and large, a human body is not perfectly symmetrical. So you've got to decide, do you work on the vertical axis or do you work on the horizontal axis? Because whichever axis you work on, the other one's going to be slightly out. So you've got to just try and get the right compromise on every angle just to get it as best as you can.
A design as complex as this will take around 5 hours to complete.
Go and have a quick look in the mirror then.
Let's do it.
Dan's first client, Ricky, takes him outside to brief him about a special tattoo, a tribute to his treasured 1962 Buick.
Hello, how are you? You all right? So this is the car then?
This is it.
Yeah, I've got to sell it. We're getting
Married.
Ah, nice. You're selling your car for the wedding?
Yeah.
Well, I can see why. I've never done a Buick. I've done a shopping trolley.
I love the car, I really do. I've got a lot of fond memories of it.
It's a bit of pressure on me then, isn't it?
Well, we could just go.
Immortalise the car forever.
No pressure there, Dan.
I think I can do it justice.
Nicole's first client is Caroline. She's asked for a tattoo of the breast cancer awareness ribbon. After surviving the illness herself, she wanted something that would be an inspiration to others.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks very much. Have a look in the mirror, see if it's straight.
It's big.
She can't help herself. I had to stop her halfway through it, otherwise it'd have been all the way down here and down here and everything. No, I like it. It's fine. I'm looking forward to the pretty pink bit. I'm sweating. No, I'm looking forward to it. I like pain. No, I don't really.
Dan's client has suddenly sprung some last-minute changes on him. Ricky now wants to add the car's name in a different style of graffiti to Dan's. Dan is stressed out by the changes.
But let me just, I've got an idea that might work. Let me just get a pen. And one of the worst things that can happen when you're a tattooist is when you prepare something and you kind of mentally prepare yourself. You go through the design in your head, you know what you want to do, and then people kind of just change it.
The design is already drawn up, and Dan doesn't agree with the changes. He has to work hard to strike a compromise.
With the other graffiti I did, that was just going to go like that, almost like a logo. But what I did think would be nice is if it actually sits on the actual letters, like a 3D letters. You know what I mean? We know what we want.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me make a stencil, then we'll do some freehanding. We'll see where we get to. Cool. I'm sure we can do it. Don't worry.
Louis, meanwhile, has the new Guardian Angels outline well underway.
How's that feel, Jim?
Yeah.
Is it all right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
Nicole managed to persuade her client to make more of a statement with her tattoo.
Caroline was great. I loved her a lot. She came in, she just wanted to get the breast cancer ribbon in it. She wants to make it into like a stick-on tattoo. And we were talking away and I thought, oh, why don't we just chuck some cherry blossoms or some petals behind it, make it look a bit pretty. It's a bit more me anyway, you know, so. And then it was also a good idea, so then she can make it into a temporary tattoo and it's not just the ribbon, so she was great. I loved Caroline a lot. She has a great laugh.
I think when Caroline gave her brief to Nicole, Nicole's reaction was just like, because I mean that little image on its own, frankly, it's boring. So Nicole put her own twist on it, and she put the cherry blossoms around it, and it just spiced it up.
And also because of what they're symbolic of, which is the life and death cycle, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a really clever touch.
Can I have a look in the mirror?
Yep.
And I'll wrap you up. Whoopsie. No, it's perfect.
Oh, I like it a lot. Lovely.
It's good. I like it with the blossoms around it. Gives it a little bit of something.
No, it's much nicer than just having on its own.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's nice to be able to work with a client where you can do that and you can work with them and say, well, look, you know, maybe we should do it like this. And Nicole did a fantastic job on it.
I just realised it's forever, isn't it? No, I love it. I like it.
Meanwhile, Dan has a tougher job persuading his client that what he has in mind will work. He shaves Ricky's arm so he can try out the design with a stencil.
I'm going to put it where I think it looks best, then I'm going to let you have a look in the mirror, and then if you disagree, we can move it, yeah?
Sure.
I think that looks the dog's bollocks.
Ricky needs reassurance that it's going to look okay.
Yeah. That's the first stencil that's ever been put on my arm. It's been right the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel quite happy now. He showed me some graffiti that I didn't particularly like, but at the end of the day, you know, it's his taste, it's his arm, and I have to do what he likes, and I did it. I'm not taking the piss. Yeah, I'm just making sure we can fit all the letters in.
Dan is happier making the changes freehand. As an ex-graffiti artist, he shouldn't find that too difficult.
Okay, are you ready? Yeah. Sign up to me, please.
The reason why I had Dan do Ricky's tattoo is because he's got this background in graffiti art, and Ricky wanted a style that sort of reflected some persona of that. And Dan did the design and Ricky was happy with it, and then he changed his mind about something at the last minute, and it sort of threw Dan a little bit, and he sort of wobbled a little bit. So I sort of got to emphasise to him that people can and do change their minds about tattoo, and it shouldn't faze him.
Is that all the outline done, or?
I'm gonna do some shading now, and then I'll tidy up the outlines later.
Jean's tattoo is Louis' first attempt at the new guardian angel. He's flown through the design without a hitch.
It's not that sore. Just for getting the first look at it, I'm really chuffed. It's exactly like the drawing that Louis showed me. You see it in a picture or a drawing form, and you think, you know, that looks awesome, but is he really going to be able to do that and transfer it straight onto my back? And yeah, he's done a great job. I'm really, really chuffed with it.
At last, the graffiti under Dan's car is sorted, but the final tattoo has been one long process of compromise.
I thought the car, it could have been done a bit better, but I put that down to, it was just first day nerves with Dan, you know. The lights were seen, the grey's a little bit smoother on it, the line work a little bit more crisp.
How's your arm? Still dead?
It's coming well.
I think the tattoo's come out really nice. I'm really happy with it.
I think it's pretty awesome. I think he's done a good job, and he's done the car justice.
It's going to look really amazing.
Dan is suffering a little bit of a crisis of confidence at the moment. He's had one or two setbacks in his personal life, and I think it's come through on his work, and it has affected him. So I need to just keep an eye on Dan, because I need to just bring him out of his shell a little bit to make him regain his confidence.
It bugs you for months, shit like that, man. When I do something like that, it was a good tattoo, but I just know I can do so much better.
If the customer's happy with it, then okay. But I am going to keep on top of Dan. I need to.
Jean is suffering back at home. He needs the help of a friend to remove the dressing.
Keep your hands at home. Just go slow.
It's going to be stuck. What do you think?
The tattoo's clean from any wound. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Right, it's done. That is brilliant.
All new tattoos need to be washed in hot water.
It's all done?
Yeah, mostly done. There's a little bit in the middle. Should I do that?
Yeah, if you could, just wipe it down.
Right, with my hand, yeah?
Yeah.
A new day at London Ink. Every studio needs an apprentice to look after the shop. Today, the team have lined up 2 applicants to choose from.
Hiya. What's your name?
Damon Holmes.
Damon. I'm Louis.
How you doing?
This is Phil.
How you doing?
All right, let's start again. Have you been to art school?
No, I haven't, no.
You haven't?
No.
Right, have you done any kind of I
did
Form
GCSE art.
So that's it, nothing...
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Oh. Why do you want to be a tattooist?
It's just something I'd really love to do. I mean, I love to draw, I love tattoos, I love the artwork behind tattooing, and I'd love to do it. Right.
Draw me a face, human face. Let's see how you do it.
Any particular angle?
No, you just do your own thing. Let's see what you do. 15 seconds. Okay, side-on view of a horse's head. Okay, I've seen enough of that one. Flower. Typical tattoo design of a flower. Any flower you want. Crack on. All right, hold it there. If you went into a tattoo studio and a tattooist drew you out a horse or a face or a flower like that, what would you think?
I'm going somewhere else.
Right. Okay. That's all I need to know, Damon.
Okay.
Thank you.
The first applicant has left them speechless. Will the second hopeful show better drawing skills?
First question, have you ever been to art school? Have you had any kind of art training?
I haven't been to art school, I've only got GCSE.
So, first thing I want you to draw me is a human face.
Human face?
Yeah. All right, you've got 5 seconds. I'm going to give you the next subject. I want you to go straight into it. I want you to draw me a horse's head. OK, time.
It's fine.
Thank you
very much. Thanks for the opportunity. Cheers.
All right. See you, dude. I'm sorry.
Too bad for him.
Well, it's kind of like an insult that they think they can be tattooists with those kind of skills, to us, really.
Yeah, I agree completely.
No,
We need to interview more people.
Coming up. For some tattoos, it's no pain, no gain. And Dan gets his hands on one of the world's sexiest models.
I love it.
Right.
I'm not sure what my agent's going to say.
Tattoo artist Louis Malloy shot to fame as the man behind David Beckham's guardian angel. Louis's always been his own boss, but for the first time he's leading a team of 3 of the best tattoo artists in the country. Louis is pleased to see an old regular client who's made the journey down from Manchester.
You all right, bud?
Yeah.
Coming through? Good. You all ready for this?
Yeah.
Session of torture?
Polo Mint John already has a full sleeve by Louis with symbols that represent different members of his family, like the mint that's a tribute to his grandfather.
I mean, this one was difficult because that was solid block colour and the legendary polo mint.
The polo was for my granddad. He used to fix machines. He used to put holes in polos. That's what he told us. And the sprockets for my son. He's a BMXer. And the cup's got 3 handles on. That's for well, that was an afterthought. That was Louis' idea again.
John's new sleeve will feature more of Louis' quirky symbolism, such as 1940s telephones and TV sets. Like his old sleeve, it's an ambitious project that will need weekly revisits from John.
As you turn the arm, sort of one will go out of view and another one will come into view. It's like a little primitive movie. But it's good. We've got some pretty wacky shit going on this one. It's brilliant. I'm really, really looking forward to doing it. It's going to be good fun. It's not for him, but it is for me.
While Louis knuckles down to his latest project, Dan's taken time out from the studio to meet a client for a one-on-one consultation. Emily Scott is not your everyday client. She's a top model who's just been voted the world's 9th sexiest woman.
So it's grown considerably since my original plan.
Dan's confidence may have been knocked in the studio, but he still rocks with the ladies.
And considering I expected to come in here and have a few cherry blossoms, I think we've done quite well, haven't we?
I think
creatively.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right.
I'm not sure what my agent's going to say.
No cocktails for Louis back at the shop, where he's finishing off Polo Mint John's line work. Together they dreamed up the quirky imagery in tribute to his family.
The cig packet there is for my nana. There was a brand when I was a kid. The brains from my youngest son. He's a wit, you know, he's a good, you know, I see him as being like that. TV there's from my mum. It's like an old 1950s kind of bakelite style thing. And the dice is just a nice way of finishing it off. Whereas my other arm is waves, like Japanese waves. This one will be like clouds, just for a bit of variation.
Today, Phil's first client arrives. Katie wants matching traditional designs on the top of each foot.
We'll talk a little bit about your design. The other design was a little too detailed for the size it's going to be. Just added some little vines and things behind the two main images to make them, you know, pop out a little bit more. And then, so this is your first tattoo?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And there's some kind of meaning for choosing these designs, or?
Yeah, well, I wanted two things, to have kind of a different end of each spectrum. One is kind of like freedom and like different choices and stuff you can have, because I mean birds can go anything, they can do anything, and it's kind of personal independence as well. And this one, like the crown, is kind of, it reminds me of responsibility and loyalty and stuff as well, and kind of almost like family-based things.
Great.
I like the idea of them being on one on each foot as well, because that
keep it a little symmetric, even though they're a little different.
Yeah, they're related, but in different ways.
First thing we're going to do is put the stencils on and get the placement right. Take a look in the mirror. Let me know what you think. If that's good, we'll go from there. We're going to do one at a time, so that way one is complete, and then we'll do the other one. Eventually, one of them would end up hurting more than the others. So, okay, and let's get everything set up, and we'll get on.
Cool.
No slouching, please.
Dan had a difficult time with Ricky's car tattoo earlier in the week. Now it's fiancée Danny's turn to get a tattoo for the wedding day. A bouquet of roses on her arm.
I'm going to freehand the 3 roses on you, because that way it's going to fit your arm much better.
Well, my fiancé had our car tattooed on his arm because he's selling it to pay for our wedding in Vegas. So this is like his gift to me for our wedding.
It's more freehand drawing for Dan, but at least this time there are no changes to put him off his stride.
I'm just freehanding it on, really, just to kind of make it flow a little bit. Just kind of playing around with the composition a little bit. The main reason I started doing freehand was actually because I couldn't actually afford a tracing machine. And so I had to, really, when I started out.
This will be Katie's first ever tattoo, and it could spell trouble for Phil. The tops of the feet can be extremely painful areas to work on, as the bones are very close to the skin.
Good place, good for you? Everything's fine with that, or?
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Now that Dan started the line work on Danny's wedding bouquet, Louis checks up on his progress.
That's sort of the kind of stuff when I first started tattooing. That was the kind of tattoos that were constantly being asked for. A bit more in a traditional vein. But I very rarely get asked to do it now. And the irony of it is that I won't mind doing it every once in a while, because it's just real back to basics tattooing. Sometimes it's nice to just go back to your roots, so to speak, to be able to do a piece like that.
I think it looks great. Dan thinks it looks great, but my biggest critic is coming in now, Ricky, so we'll get his opinion in a minute. Hello.
There you go.
Thank you.
One lovely rose for you.
What do you think first?
Like?
Very nice.
Now we've both got our tattoos for the wedding.
Phil's first time at Katie is fast approaching her pain threshold.
One little move could change a whole part of a tattoo. And that's what's, you know, that's also important, that we have to work together on that part of it, you know, even if it does hurt a little bit.
Won't get any worse than what it is now.
Okay.
You'll be all right. I kept sort of saying to her, look, you've got to get your head around this. It's going to be painful. Stay relaxed. Try not to tense up or flinch.
Katie needs to keep taking the pain just long enough for Phil to finish.
The lines are all finished, so then we can move on to the black shading. And then once the black shading's done, that's when we're going to start doing some color.
Will this hurt more?
This is better.
Less painful?
Yeah.
But I take my hat off to the girl. I mean, she got through it. I mean, she had that first one done, and she was like, whoa. And then Phil started on the second piece of work. And sort of 5 minutes into it, she had that look on her face as if to say, what the hell am I doing here?
Everything tidied up for you here. Go ahead, have a look.
Very, very pleased. Thank you so much. Seriously, they're beautiful. I'm glad it's over. At first, the pain was, it just felt really hot and made me feel really claustrophobic, bizarrely. It made me feel like it was, the pain was almost like suffocating me. Sounds weird, but the second one hurt a lot more than the first for some reason. I think because by that time my adrenaline had got going and I was more aware of the pain and how long it was going to take and stuff. Yeah, the pain was quite extreme, but worth it. It's all due to Phil, to be honest, because I would have walked out if he hadn't have held me there.
Phil was great with the client, and you know what I mean, he gelled with that girl straight away. It was great. It was fabulous to watch it. She was really pleased with them. Even though it was a baptism of fire for it, she got through to the other end, and I think you could see it on her face. I mean, she was absolutely elated. She loved it.
I love him.
Cool.
Very, very pleased.
I'm pleased that Phil did the work because he just, bang, get in there, got on with it, did it, no messing about. That's why I like Phil.
Dan has been waiting patiently for Emily Scott to return. Today, she has a verdict. Emily originally wanted some small cherry blossoms. Will she be feeling brave enough to go for Dan's koi carp design?
Hey. How you doing?
I'm all right, how are you?
Good.
I'm very well.
Good.
So you're here for your tattoo, yeah?
As much as I loved what you drew on my arm, I think the size is going to have to remain a bit of a fantasy for a while. I still want the koi, but we might have to try and sort of navigate him somewhere around here and be smaller if it's going to work.
All right, so what? We scaled it down a little bit. Is that to do with the modelling, or?
A little, yeah.
So you're still, you're still the ninth sexiest woman in the world?
I am, yeah, at the moment.
I always feel that tattoos, they shouldn't really limit you, you know, professionally or anywhere in life. So I think we'll keep it like that. I think that's good. You show me the areas that you want tattooed, and we'll take it from there.
Cool.
Yeah?
More drawing, yes.
More drawing.
More drawing.
You like
than
the
me.
drawing bit, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's go and draw. All right. What I want to do is I want to freehand it on because you told me earlier that the most important thing about this tattoo is how it flows. If you start off with telling me what skin I've got, and then I can see what I can do with that amount of skin.
Okay. You have pretty much, we can go all there. That bit I don't mind. A little bit higher up towards my wrist.
No?
I like my one.
All right.
Yeah.
You gotta try.
After Dan's shaky start earlier in the week, Louis is keeping a close eye on him.
I'll tell you what I think could look good on this. Nice charcoal grey on it. And line it with that, and then the inner part, that's just on the outer part, and then the inner part, put grey shadowing around the outside, quite, not really dark, but darker than what it is on the inside, and it'll lift it out and give it a bit of a 3D look.
Yeah.
Make it look really animated, and it'll give it depth as well.
That's a really nice idea.
Look quite good.
Always. Okay. Quite enjoy the process of having it done?
Yeah, I do. But you never tell which bits are going to hurt and which bits don't anyway. Like, it's totally random.
Yeah. Emily is a model, and I want the tattoo to look really sexy. I don't want it to be like a big, heavy sort of blob on her wrist. So I'm trying to work with as little colour as possible, and then we work our way. So it's almost like reversing the way that you would work normally.
Finally, Dan's made a lasting impression on Emily.
Here we go. That's it. All finished.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that.
Sweet.
The grey around the waves, is that going to stay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll stay.
Cool.
Exactly like that.
And, yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's managed to twist around my arm. That's exactly what I wanted. And it's perfect.
My job as a tattooist is always to try and convince people to get more tattoos. I find tattoos sexy, I think they're great, and I think everyone should have them. I know Emily's got the bug, I can feel it, and she's fighting it, so yeah, we'll get there in the end. Do you want to go and have a look?
Yeah, I'd love to, yeah.
See what we've done?
So what do you think of it?
Oh, that's perfect. Look how cool it looks wrapping around.
Yeah.
That shape is perfect. It's awesome. And very well.
Coming up, Louis has some home truths for Dan.
Yeah. It sounds like a bit of a cliche. Good workman never blames his tools.
London Ink is revealed to the world.
Ugh.
And it's a painful morning for Dan. At last, it's launch party night for London Ink. The great and the good of the tattoo world descend on the new studio in town. Time for the artist to finally kick back and celebrate.
It's a lot of people, I can't get over it. There's a lot of people out in the industry who've come down. Some of my pals have come down from Manchester. So yeah, I'm really pleased about it, and everybody seems a bit cool, relaxed, and having a drink and getting on with it, just having a good time.
The portraits of the team have arrived to mark the occasion, once they get the size right.
Dan looks like he's just been given a tax bill on that one. That's nice of Nicole. She looks lovely as always. And that one, I feel I like that. That's a cracking picture, that. I'm really pleased with that. Everybody's come in tonight. They're all having a bit of fun, but I'm not under any illusions about this. We're going to have an uphill struggle. It's going to be difficult, but I know the guys who are around me. I know that I can rely on them, and we'll do it. It's never going to be easy. I'm not under any illusions about that whatsoever, but I know it's just with the right encouragement, a bit of hard graft, which none of us are afraid of. We'll get there, no problem.
The morning after, Dan never quite made it home.
Look at you. You been here all night?
Yeah, I just keep on the sofa.
Jesus Christ, you look like dog poo. Are you tattooing today? Good.
No,
Thank
I
God for that.
particularly didn't book anything today.
Right, because you can't be sat around like this. It's not good for business. You sure you're all right?
Yeah, I'm
Don't be
fine.
throwing up in the studio or anything.
No, I'm fine.
I'd be upset.
Don't worry, I've done this before.
I can tell.
It's been a hectic first week for Louis, but it's Dan's teething troubles that are his biggest cause for concern.
Listen, last night, I know we had a bit of party and everything, and everybody let their hair down, and, you know, we all did. I did, you did, Phil did, Nicole did, everybody else in here did. But a couple of things, just, and it's really important, this as well. I'd prefer it if you didn't stay in the studio overnight. People are coming past there and they're looking in the studio in the morning, they see someone looks half dead on there. I don't want somebody, police ringing. You understand where I'm coming from with that?
Well, the shutters were down.
Yeah. All right, no problem. I've watched a couple of your pieces of work, and what I want to do is, certainly over the next few weeks, I'm going to work with you a bit more closely, because I've noticed you appear to sometimes struggle a bit with your line work.
I think it's more to do with my machine setup, actually.
Well, we'll go through the whole thing.
And then...
Yeah, we'll go through the whole thing. I mean, you know, it sounds like a bit of a cliche, but you've got to say, good workman never blames his tools.
No.
But I take into account what you're saying. I am going to show you how I do the line work, so that we can get nice, strong, clean lines on it. Because sometimes I feel that it's almost like you've lost your confidence a bit. I've got to get you back to where you were.
Well, I want to do those lines I used to do. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. You did do them, so you're perfectly capable of it.
Listen, man, every day I go to work, I want to learn.
You will do.
And I want to be a little bit better when I go home.
You will.
Every day.
It's just important that we keep focused on this, because it's like I say, we've got an uphill struggle. And if there's any problems, anything, I don't care what it is, come and see me about it.
Next time on London Ink, Phil's client gives him access all areas.
You might want to put that away.
Added bonus there, eh, boys?
So where exactly are you tattooing her?
Nicole shows her client who's boss.
So you can't just do like a black...
I don't want to do a black... I'm not interested in doing a black tribal dragon, to be honest.
They come to me because they want what I do, so they'll get whatever I say.
And Dan finally kicks off.
I can deal with the truth, but I can't deal with bullshit.